Welcome to the brand new baseball stadium here at Montgomery High School in Santa Rosa, where today we're bringing you the Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game. It's the Washington High School Huskies of Fremont taking on the Montgomery Vikings. Both teams having a great early season and looking forward to getting together here at Montgomery High School. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Cox along with Pat McDonald, and this Washington team, Pat, has played 14 games this year. They've battled the weather very well down in the Fremont area. Montgomery, on the other hand, has only played 4 games, but they've won all 4 of them, so this should be a great matchup today.
Right, it really should. You got to love the fact that Washington has played that many games. They're going to feel comfortable out there no matter what they're doing. Montgomery, although they have played well in their 4 games, they've only played 4 games, so they really haven't maybe gotten everything going, don't have a big rhythm, what definitely Washington does.
And the guy who leads the way for the Washington Huskies is Logan Mazzetta, just a sophomore, but a great hitter. Yeah,
you take a look at him here, number 12. Look at that, 485 on the year. Again, this is through 14 games. He's still hitting 485. Only a sophomore leading hitter on the squad, so he's a big key for them. He's also an excellent defensive second baseman.
And, of course, Montgomery High School, right in the middle of their infield is Zach Tiedemann. We know him well from basketball season, but he's picked up right where he left off on the baseball diamond.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he came out in the very first game after basketball and went 4 for 5. He's hitting 600 on the year. But, again, that's only through 4 games. And so we'll see. He's definitely a key to Montgomery's offense and also a big player on defense for Montgomery and also a senior leader on the team.
It's the 3rd game in 2 days for both of these teams, so pitching will be at a premium today. Both teams will go with good starting pitchers, and this should be a great Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game. We are looking forward to finally bringing you a baseball game here on the Game of the Week. It's the Huskies and the Vikings coming up next from Montgomery High School. Welcome back to Montgomery High School. You see the records of these 2 teams. The Washington Huskies have taken the field. They're actually the home team in the bottom half of the bracket here today. And there is the Al Rabinovitz Tournament banner out there. Great tournament put on here by Montgomery High School. And this is the 12th annual affair. And right now we are going to take a look at the Montgomery starting lineup as announced by their head coach, Dean Haskins. And here it is. Scott Mitchell leads it off with Kevin Wade hitting 2nd, Zach Tiedemann in the 3 spot, John Colgan in the 4 spot, Drew Moak, the catcher, bats 5th, Joe Steemack, Joe Reynolds, Luke Robertson, and Brad Routh rounding out the starting 9. We're going to take a look at the defense now for the Washington Huskies, and here it is. Roland, Mazzetta, Santaramo, and Davis on the infield with Cherez, Ham, and Rive in the outfield. Lambert behind the plate, and Tobin on the hill. Kevin Tobin, considered the number 3 pitcher for the Washington Huskies, comes in with a 1-3 record and a 7.21 ERA, but he's got some good stuff, Pat, and if he's on today, he'll be tough on Montgomery.
Yeah, he's got 4 pitches. He's going to try to obviously mix it up. Definitely the Montgomery hitters have never seen him, so right off the bat there he has an advantage. And again, he's thrown in 4 games this year already. He's 1-3 on the year. So again, he's in a rhythm, and the Montgomery hitters so far in one, but see if they can stay in it or not today.
Scott Mitchell at the plate, leading it off today. He'll be doing the pitching, so you know he'd love to get himself aboard, get around the bases, and stake himself to a lead here in this Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game. It's been a great tournament over the years. A lot of great players and a lot of great teams have been in this tournament, and this has been no different, although this is the first time that Montgomery has played at Montgomery. Usually the tournament's at Doyle Park, Santa Rosa High School, Pioneer, and this is great to have the home field ready to go, and I'm sure this makes Russ Petrick very proud, and I know Mickey Rabinovitz, who's here today, is really excited about this, although he says, man, it took him 38 years to get the field here at Montgomery, but it's better late than never.
Yeah, it's all part of the renovations they've done here at Montgomery. They've also done them at Santa Rosa High and at Pioneer High School, around the Santa Rosa City Schools, and this is the first year, yeah, it's been at Montgomery. The tournament actually dates back to 1968. It's been called the Al Rabinovitz Tournament for 12 years.
Here's a ground ball to short, and the shortstop throws across, and he is a good player. That is Nick Santaramo, the best pitcher for this team. Will not be starting today, but we may see him before the day is over. He's considered their number 1 guy, and they'd like to not use him in this tournament because they have a big game against James Logan coming up next week, and that is their big rival in the Mission Valley Athletic League.
Take a look at a pretty routine play, but Mitchell gets down the line well, but Santaramo's throw gets there, and 1 out.
Kevin Wade now stepping in, and he takes a strike.
And Tobin being very smart, just starting out with the outside corner, hitting him with a fastball there and getting ahead of the count. Take a look at Wade's number, 546, 545 on the year.
And Montgomery has scored a lot of runs so far this year as Wade goes to right field, and that gets by Jeff Rive. Wade will try and stretch it to 2, and he may head for 3. He hits the bag. Kyle Boyd, the third base coach, bringing him all the way around, and will hold him up at third base with a stand-up triple.
And so Wade, right off the bat, wasn't hit that well, I didn't think, but caught Rive out there a little bit by surprise. And the triple for Wade. And that'll bring up Zach Tiedemann. Take a look at it here. Fastball right down the middle, just goes the other way with it. Montgomery hitters talking about going the other way. See Rive diving, and once he dives, Wade gets around the bases quick.
Montgomery started the year with a big win over Piner. They beat them rather easily behind the pitching of John Colgan. They came right out of the chute swinging the bat. Usually beginning of the season, the pitchers are ahead of the hitters, but Montgomery, they work so hard on drills, soft toss drills. They came out swinging a hot bat right off the bat this year. And yesterday in the first game of the tournament, they beat Sonoma 15-0. So they've scored a lot of runs in the early season. Tiedemann, hard hit ball left field. That's a base hit and a 1-0 lead as Kevin Wade comes to the plate. Tiedemann continuing to swing a hot bat for the Vikings.
He just took that pitch and we just jumped all over it. A little single right in between the shortstop and third baseman. And you talk about it, one thing Montgomery has been able to do is see a high fastball right down the middle, and Zach goes ahead and takes it and rips it. One thing you are able to do in the rainy weather is you are able to hit a lot. You're able to do a bunch of drills in the gym, a bunch of hitting drills, and you are able to keep your hitting sharp. Usually it's the defense and the pitching that can tend to suffer.
John Colgan now at the plate. Although Montgomery has been able to get out on the football field, the synthetic turf, as long as it's not raining at the time. They can practice. They can do first and thirds. They can do bunt rotations. They can take ground balls. And that's helped them a lot this year. They feel very fortunate to have that synthetic turf out there on the football field. And Colgan is hit by the pitch. Colgan with the most power on the team and the top pitcher for the Vikings. He's already thrown a couple of shutouts this year. And now Drew Moog, the catcher, will step in with 2 on and 1 out for the Vikings.
Well, Tobin obviously not off to a very good start here. As you see the pitch hit Colgan there right on the elbow. He takes it, though, no problem. Gets on down to the first. You know, one thing we do want to mention is Fremont, a bunch of their players got caught in traffic. They arrived here about 20 minutes before the start of the game. So I don't think Tobin was one of them, but they're just not off to a good start right here. Montgomery has just been putting the ball in play.
Drew Moog, who's been a very solid catcher this year, and you'll see if anybody tries to steal against him today, he is fun to watch throw the ball down to second base, but he's also learning to pitch this year. We may see him as the closer today, and he swings a very good bat at .462 so far in the season. Huskies looking for a double play ball, but Tobin leaves that one up. Tobin can hit the mid-80s, about 84, 85 with his fastball.
Everything's red out here. You got the scoreboard's red, the lights in the scoreboard are red. Montgomery threatening here and early on, already up 1-0.
And traditionally this was the junior varsity diamond. It was just a skim diamond for all the years that Mickey Rabinovitz coached here, and that's a nice play by Rive as that ball drifted out and the wind took it right back into fair play, and for Moog it's a fly out, 2 away.
That's one thing every team is going to need to get used to. The field's obviously brand new, so right there, it's a little windy today. The wind's coming a little bit from behind home plate, pushing out toward left field. You see Rive came in, and he had trouble with it originally, then got underneath it and stayed with it. So 2 down, and big at bat right here for the Vikings and for Tobin for Washington. If he can get out of here with only giving up 1 run, that will be fortunate.
And this is big Joe Steemack. He had 3 hits versus Sonoma in the first game yesterday as they throw behind the runner. And Steemack is a big guy. If he gets a hold of one, forget it. There have been 3 home runs hit in this facility already. 2 by an Annalee player yesterday and 1 by a Petaluma player today. So a couple of SCL guys have gone yard. Nobody from Montgomery yet. It's 330 down the lines, 370 to center field. And the ball has always carried well here, particularly to left field. Big cut as the high fastball gets by Steemack. And it's 0-2. Tobin trying to get out of it right here without further damage.
Yeah, you talk about this field. I mean, when Coach Hassen set it up, he definitely wanted it to be a bigger field. Didn't want a whole bunch of home runs being hit, and wanted to make sure. When I heard he was putting it 370 in the gaps, I said, wow, You know, coming from Doyle Park where it's 350 all the way around, definitely different.
And Steemack rips this one in right center field. Ham trying to get there, and he makes the catch. Andrew Ham, the center fielder, snags one and takes extra bases away from Steemack.
What a great catch there by the center fielder, Ham.
So a run for Montgomery on 2 hits. We'll be back with the bottom half of inning number 1 as the Washington Huskies will come to the plate for the first time today in the Al Rabinovitz tournament. So the Vikings jump out to the lead here in this Al Rabinovitz tournament championship game, and now the Washington Huskies will come to the plate. Their head coach, Rob Badini, is not here today. He is in Michigan. So here's the lineup as announced by Steve Noss, their assistant coach. And it's Andrew Ham leading it off with Logan Mazzetta, Mark Rowland, and Chris Davis, the top 4 guys. Nick Santaramo, Jacob Cherez, Jeff Rive in the middle, and then Blaine Carlisle and Colin Lambert rounding out the starting 9. Defensively, the Vikings will look like this: Steemack, Bradford, Tiedemann, and Grimmett on the infield. Robertson, Wade, and Routh in the outfield, Maug and Mitchell. Actually, John Colgan playing third base today for Montgomery. That graphic was in error. And Scott Mitchell making his first start of the year. He's been scheduled to pitch several times this year, and the games have been rained out every time. So, you know, he has got to be excited. That's tough to go through as a high school baseball player, to come to school thinking you're going to pitch that day and then get disappointed each and every time. And there's Steve Noss, who is acting as the head coach today.
Well, and one of the things you talk about with Mitchell is not only is his first start of the year, he comes out with a curveball there, is it turns out it's a pretty big game for his team. If they win this, they win their home tournament. So, you know, we'll see how he comes out here and throws. He pretty much throws 3 pitches: fastball, curveball, and a knuckle change. Knuckle curve is a changeup.
Andrew Ham, the center fielder, just made that terrific catch for the Washington Huskies, batting from the left side. A great defensive play, and really the catalyst for this team offensively. If he gets aboard a lot today, you can expect the Huskies to have a good day offensively.
Yeah, and I want to just say something about that catch he made. That was a ball. It sure looked like it was getting in the gap. It was tailing away from Ham. He went up, made a nice running catch. If he doesn't catch that ball, it's 3-0. Take a look at it right here. Actually, he draws a walk here. See if we can take a look at that again later. But that was a huge play and may go back. Look at this game. If Washington ends up come back and winning this game by one or 2 runs, you might look back and say, wow, that play in the first inning was really big.
So a 4-pitch walk to start the game. This is going to be that great catch by Ham right here.
Look at this. He was outstretched, and it sure looked like that ball was getting out. When I saw that come off the bat, it was definitely tailing away from him. Great play.
And here is Logan Mazzetta, the second baseman, hitting .485. We talked about it in the open. He is just a sophomore, but already the top hitter on this Washington Husky team. Rob Babidaw, the head coach, is in Michigan, where he went to college, played for Michigan as a baseball player, and he had already planned the trip. This tournament is usually Monday, Tuesday, which makes it very tough for us to televise it, and that they postponed it because of the weather and the soggy turf. Here Thursday, Friday, we've been able to come out here for the first time and televise the championship game, so it makes it nice for us.
Well, it's really nice, and so this is one of the more well-known tournaments. Then there's also the Adam Westcott tournament down at Casa Grande. The Casa Grande puts on every year, and then you look at then even Maria Carrillo from the NBL. They're over actually in Hawaii playing a tournament in Hawaii. So a lot of great North Bay baseball going on this week, and luckily the weather's held off for us.
Mitchell has yet to throw a strike. And now he does pull one in to make it 3-1. Good job by Maug to kind of settle him down, go out there and talk to him a little bit and get him back in the groove. And he misses, so he's walked the first 2 hitters for Washington. It'll be interesting to see if we get a bunt right here as Dean Haskins quickly comes out of the dugout to have a chat with Scott Mitchell.
Well, we talked about it just a moment ago. It's his first start of the year. He's probably a little amped up, and, you know, he's just, you know, this is the first time he's actually been out there doing this with in game-like conditions. So we'll see if he can get settled down. He's a good, smart player, and he likely will settle down. He just needs to make Washington hit the ball. He's got a good defense behind him.
We'll give you a chance to set the umpires for you today. The guy behind the plate today is Rod Materi. At first base, Bob Crosat and Sean Beaton. As we see Dean Haskins head off the mound, the Montgomery head coach took over for Russ Petrick. And Mark Rowland will step in He was the #1 pitcher on this team last year, but he's had shoulder problems this year. And so he has just been sticking to the first base position, where he is very solid over there and a great hitter in the #3 spot. Rolling 267 so far this year, a couple of runs batted in. Has 1 triple, and he's showing bunt all the way, lays it down, foul, and the count is 1-1. So Mitchell out of the stretch with 2 runners aboard and nobody out. Rowland showing bunt again. The Vikings with a nice rotation, and he bunts it back to the pitcher Mitchell. The second baseman Bradford is covering, and there's 1 away.
Well executed sacrifice there by Rowland, the #3 hitter, and now with a base hit, Washington can take the lead.
Sean Bradford able to play defensively today, but he's had some back problems the last couple of days, and he is normally one of the best hitters for Montgomery. He is not hitting today. He's being DH for it, but they need him defensively.
Take a look at that, almost a perfect bunt. Not perfect, but back to the pitcher, but it was hit with such a speed that the runners moved up easily. A nice sacrifice bunt by Rowland.
And this is Chris Davis batting. Kind of a deceiving guy, not a real big fellow, but he can hit the ball hard for power. So the Vikings will need to respect him today, and they may find out the hard way how Davis's power is. 321 on the year so far this year. Has 9 runs batted in.
They just hit him.
And he's hit by the pitch. So the bags are packed. And Nick Santaramo will step in. This guy is a terrific athlete for this team. The #1 pitcher. He's a shortstop. Bats from the left side. He can do a lot of things for this team, as we see Davis taking one for the team. Vikings will play for the double play ball, and Mitchell gets the first pitch over for a strike.
And Davis getting hit by that pitch wasn't the worst thing that happened to Montgomery. First base was open, so now the double plays in order. Definitely, I know Zach Tiedemann can turn it at short if he needs to. Left-handed hitter up, though, it might be a little bit tough.
Nice stop by Moog, saves a run. And the count runs 1-1 here. Bases loaded. Ham led off the game with a walk. Then Mazzetta followed with another walk. The bunt put runners at second and third. Davis was hit by the pitch. And that is where we sit with the bases loaded with the Washington Huskies. Montgomery up 1-0, and that one misses way outside. 2-1.
Santaramo has 2 doubles and 2 triples on the year, so the guy can definitely find the gaps. Mitchell working quickly.
And there's a strike.
Got the outside corner there. That pitch looked like it might be outside by a couple inches, but the umpire gave him the call.
There's Andrew Ham trying to score from third base. And the count runs to.
After that last call, they went out. They went ahead and went outside again, and that time the ball was just another inch or so outside. The umpire didn't give him a call there. Bases juiced, full count.
And he swings and misses. Big strikeout, and I'm not sure that pitch was a strike, but Santaramo chased it. First strikeout for Mitchell, and it is a big one. Jacob Cherez, the left fielder, fastest player on the team for this Washington team, will be the next hitter.
Well, Mitchell, he kept going outside and high, outside and high. Then he came in with a 3-2 count. He threw the ball a little bit lower, and he got Santaramo to chase.
Swing and a miss by Cherez. He's been playing very well. Last 4 games, he's hit the ball extremely well, hitting .240 on the season. Kind of a free swinger. He's only walked 1 time this year. And Mitchell misses just inside. 1-1.
The sun actually now coming out a little bit.
Yeah, there was a chance of rain coming in today, but we haven't seen anything very threatening. Some high clouds. That's about it. Grounder to second. We'll see Cherez's wheels, but they go the short way and just do get the out. Bradford tossing to Tiedemann, and the side is retired. So Mitchell with some control trouble, but he gets out of the jam with no harm being done. And we will head to the second inning here at Montgomery High School in the Al Rabinovitz tournament. It is 1-0, the Montgomery Vikings leading the Washington Huskies after 1. Welcome back to Montgomery High School. A little bit of a breeze blowing out today, which should make things interesting for the pitchers in a 1-0 ball game. Montgomery ready to bat in the top of the second. They're actually the visitor today in this tournament championship game from the Rabinovitz tournament. And the first pitch of the inning, a ground ball by Reynolds to third. Long throw across by Davis. One pitch, one out for the Washington Huskies.
That's one quick out there for Washington. Washington, hard luck there in the first inning, not scoring anything with the bases loaded. Interesting first inning already.
Had some great names over the years that have been a part of this tournament. And started off, they just had a most valuable player the first couple of years. Joe Meyer from Santa Rosa was the most valuable player. And then after that, they split it up. Outstanding pitcher, outstanding hitter. And if you look down the list of names, it's really some great names over the years. We'll throw a few of those out as we go along today. Grounder, line drive to third, and making the play again is Chris Davis. So he's had a couple of good plays so far here today. Go back to last year, it was John Silly from Petaluma. Petaluma had a great year last year. He was the outstanding pitcher. Cameron Cook was the outstanding hitter from Annalise. So the SCL fared very well. Let's go back to some guys mid-90s. J.D. Seeger was the outstanding pitcher. George Horning from Santa Rosa High School. Sammy Pueyas, just kind of a who's who of guys that have been great. And Dean Haskins was the outstanding hitter back in 1988. So it's great to see him come back and play here. Albert Higgs, great name from your era, Pat, here at Montgomery. Outstanding pitcher in 1986. Not a lot of people remember him. Remember him more as a football player. He went on to play arena football, but he was a great pitcher as well.
He was an outstanding pitcher, and then he would come out, he'd go to baseball practice, and he'd take off, he'd run track. But what a lot of people don't know is the Philadelphia Phillies really wanted to draft him, and they really wanted him to be a catcher or center fielder. And actually, they were more talking about him being a catcher, and he could have succeeded at any level. He was the best athlete that definitely in the 80s, and I think this whole area. Another kid in 1998, Ryan Smith, most outstanding pitcher for Santa Rosa.
Here's Ham with another tough opportunity, and he lays out for it, robbing Brad Ralph of extra bases. Ham making another fantastic play, and I think he topped his first effort on that one. So Andrew Ham having a day so far here for the Washington Huskies, and we remain 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 2 in the Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game.
Andrew Ham from Washington showing us that he can play some defense. Made a great catch at the end of the first inning, and then here to end the second inning. Look at this, all-out play. Doesn't get any better than that for an outfielder. That is what they call a web gem.
Yeah, you're laying out for that one, no question about it.
That was huge, and again, that play was huge, but the play in the first inning was just as big with the bases loaded. He saved 2 or 3 runs.
For Washington,
Jeff Reve, as we see the umpires on graphic.
The right fielder, Jeff
Jerry Crosette,
Reve.
Sean Beaton. Good crew here today from the NCOA, as Reve, a very athletic, versatile guy, ready to come up here. He was all MVAL in football and in basketball, so he's a 3-sport star at Washington High School, wide receiver on the football team. I remember Washington High School played against Montgomery in football back in the 90s, the semifinals, the year Montgomery went all the way to the Coliseum and won the championship. The O.J. Marchbanks and the gang. Rive is retired by Bradford, 1 out, and Blake Carlisle will step in.
Yeah, definitely nice to see Washington up here at this tournament. You know, seeing these guys come on up.
Blaine Carlisle. Vikings are without a couple of their normal starters in the outfield today. A couple of guys visiting schools today, and Kevin Wade is playing center field for the first time this year. Easley and DeMartini are off visiting colleges.
In the sun field here is the right field of the second baseman, first baseman, right fielder, but center fielder will get some sun here.
Blaine Carlisle is just a freshman here at Washington High School. But he's a great spray hitter. He can go to all fields. And DHing today for Tobin, or excuse me, yeah, for Kevin Tobin. So this will be interesting to watch. A freshman, only 15 years of age, playing varsity baseball. That's quite a statement, especially in the area down in the East Bay that he comes from. That's really a hotbed of great players. The James Logan program in particular is loaded year in and year out. That Union City area always produces great baseball players.
Take a look at his breaking ball. Look at his drop. He uses a knuckle curve sometimes. I'm not sure if that was it, but he uses a knuckle curve as kind of like a changeup pitch, and that can really fool some hitters. But it's just turned out to be just a beautiful down here. Other than being a little bit windy, nobody's complaining. We're just happy to be getting the game in.
Absolutely. Had some little leagues finally getting underway. Many still have not been able to get out on the field. Santa Rosa American Little League finally got their 50th season underway this week with games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the kids are excited. Everybody in the family is excited to be back out on the baseball field. So it's happening. Baseball is back in Sonoma County.
Well, it had to end sometime, and not too soon.
Ground ball by Tiedemann in the hole, throws on the run in time. Great play by Zach.
What a play. Get Lambert just by a half a step, if that. That is just a top-notch play because that ball wasn't hit very well. Tiedemann was going toward third base. He threw it across his body and got that ball all the way across, and Steemack makes a nice catch. Take a look at this here. The only play will be at first here for Tiedemann. It's hit so slow. Comes throwing across his body. And you see they do, good call by the umpire, just gets him at first. Get another angle of it here. Look at this. Just out.
Andrew Ham at the plate now, and he has been the star defensively so far for Washington, and he will try and tie the game with a base hit right here.
Outfield straightaway.
And Mitchell hits the outside corner.
So Ham walked last time up. He's already seen a few pitches. He needs to go up there right now and try to get that run home.
Hit well, left center field, long run for Kevin Wade. Wade going back, and that one is going to be in the gap. Coming in to score is Carlisle. Heading for third is Ham. The relay coming in, not in time. It's a stand-up triple and an RBI. The throw gets away, but the Vikings quickly run it down. So Ham has been the star defensively. Now he comes up big with a triple to tie the game.
Big triple there by Ham, and take a look at it here. Just strokes a fastball right down the middle at the knees, and this finds the gap. And this ball was just a little ways from getting out of there, probably about 10 or 15 feet from getting out of there. And Wade gets to it quickly, but Ham gets around the bases. The leadoff hitter gets around fast and gets himself a triple.
That's one of the problems with having an out-of-the-area team. In a tournament like this, you really have no idea about some of their players, and they were playing him straight away, but probably should have been shading him more toward left center field, and I imagine they'll do that the next time he comes up.
Well, you learn, live and learn, and that's, like you say, it's tough, but you know, it's just equally as tough for them against Montgomery the other way around. But you adjust right off the bat. I mean, if that's the way he hits it, you know, after one or two at bats, you just go ahead and you move your guys over until he proves otherwise.
Logan Mazzetta at the plate now. The top hitter walked in the first inning for this team, tied up at 1-1.
Mitchell went with the curveball pitch before that, came back with a fastball. He's ahead in the count now, 0-2.
Swing and a miss, and Mitchell gets out of the jam, but does give up a run. Second strikeout of the day. Good breaking ball there. Mazzetta goes down. We're tied at 1-1. The Vikings will come back to the plate with Mitchell, Wade, and Tiedemann due up for Montgomery. So a good ball game here so far, 1-1 as we head to the third inning, and the Vikings will send the top of the order up to face Kevin Tobin, the right-hander for Washington High School of Fremont. This tournament was won in 1968 by Santa Rosa High School. Santa Rosa has actually done pretty well in this tournament over the years. They won it in 2004. Montgomery has won it a few times themselves, as you can imagine, hosting the tournament 2002, 1998, 1996, and then go back to 88, 86. Maria Creo won it a couple times in 2001, 2003. And here is Scott Mitchell stepping in.
We got ourselves a nice tight ball game here. Mitchell, the pitcher, going to try to help himself get on here.
There's a strike to Mitchell. Mitchell hit the ball pretty well his first time up, grounded it right to the shortstop.
And you talked about adjustments. You already saw right now Washington's already adjusting the right fielder after seeing Mitchell hit one time. Try to move the right fielder over a little bit more towards center field.
That's one thing about Montgomery. They definitely have a tremendous staff. They have 4 or 5 coaches in there. Casey Cunningham, the pitching coach, calling the pitches. They have experienced guys like Kyle Boyd and Jamie Woods setting the defense and coaching the bases. So they've got a lot of good heads in that dugout, and that's going to help you down the road. A lot of close games. Coaching comes into play.
Well, I mean, you look at Coach Haskins. I mean, he played at Texas, was drafted, could have been drafted, could have went on a minor league contract, didn't do that, but played big-time college ball at Texas, played in the College World Series, so he's got that experience.
Ripped into left field by Mitchell. A solid single.
And then you look at his pitching coach, Casey Cunningham, played at South Carolina, and he very well there. So he's a left-handed. He was actually one of the top pitchers. Russ Petrick said he's ever seen in Montgomery. Casey Cunningham, one of his top 3 pitchers ever.
Yeah, Cunningham definitely had good stuff, and there's Mitchell with that solid base hit into left field. Took kind of a wicked hop on Cherez, but he handled it, and now it'll be Kevin Wade.
See if Coach Haskins wants to go ahead and bunt him over. No one think this might be a tight game, or he's going to let him hit away.
Well, the one ace in the hole that Washington has is Nick Santaramo, their shortstop. He could pitch today, and if this game is tight late in the ball game, you can bet we'll see Santaramo in the game. Wade had that triple to right field and scored back in the first inning. Shows bunt, takes ball.
Well, then Coach Haskins took a look over at the third baseman. Third baseman's actually not even playing on the grass right now, so he's leaving the bunt is an option here. If Wade can put a good one down, he might beat it out. If not, gets the runner over. Third baseman is not charging hard yet. We'll see if he moves in.
Nice slide step by Tobin, and with Mitchell on board, obviously they have in the back of their minds that he may try and steal a base right here.
I'll tell you what, Wade might be seeing some fastballs then. It's a heavy dose of outside fastballs. Go the other way with it.
Mitchell does have one stolen base, and they may have been a little too worried about the runner at first. They end up walking Wade to put runners at first and second, nobody out, and Zach Tiedemann coming to the plate for the Montgomery Vikings.
Yeah, you just looked at it, they kept throwing fastballs outside, worrying about Mitchell, and he never really threw that good, very good pitch. And one pitch was inside. So Tobin needs to just concentrate right now on the hitter and let his defense do their job.
Tiedemann, coming off that great basketball season for Montgomery, has been getting some interest from colleges. Humboldt State has offered him a full ride, and Air Force is showing some interest. So it'll be interesting to see where Zach ends up, and a lot of people are hoping that he stays home and plays a couple years here at Santa Rosa Junior College. And
yeah,
if he does that, he'll get a real good offer.
Yeah,
for
well, I know one guy named McMillan who really would like that. Coach Craig McMillan is just, he's had his eye on Zach for a long time, and then, you know, not that he wouldn't want Zach to get noticed, but he was like toward the end when Zach was playing so well all season in the playoffs, all these people in the playoffs came and said, wow, this kid can play. And McMillan's been in every game, not every game, but winning a lot of games, has obviously been talking to Zach, hoping he'd go to Santa Rosa Junior College. Then in the playoffs, Zach really stepped it up and got noticed. So good for him, and you know, hopefully he just makes a good choice and has fun, because that's what it's all about.
And that strategy worked well for Tyler, who started off on baseball scholarship at Arizona, had arm trouble, came back and played a year for Coach McMillan at Santa Rosa Junior College, and then got a nice ride going up north to a Division I college.
Yeah, and Tyler says he's having fun up there. He likes it. Ran into him a couple weeks ago.
2-1 to Tiedemann.
Back
Tobin
to the game.
with a couple of looks back. Fastball fouled off at the plate. Got somebody. I'm not sure if it was Blue or the catcher that time, but somebody took one.
Well, I don't think he's going to get a better pitch than that. It was a fastball right about waist high, and Zach just missed it. Take a look at it, we'll foul it off, and it got the umpire in the right arm. Good camera work there. Great job, guys. And the umpire hanging in. That's why he's wearing pads, too.
Rabinovitz didn't even flinch.
He'll ice it later on tonight, though,
You
I
can
bet.
bet. He'll tell that story. There's a fly ball to Routh in right field. Tagging at second, but bluffing is Mitchell. One away.
That time Reve had an easy time with that ball. He had the sunglasses down and made that play look easy.
Yeah, right field is going to be kind of an adventure here. The wind does traditionally blow across the diamond and the sun. That's going to be a position where you want to have a good defensive player. Colgan at the plate now. Best power hitter on the team.
Well, you can just look at him. He looks like he can hit it far. And if you're a pitcher up there, you're going to be careful. You're going to try to keep the ball low.
I've seen him pitch a couple of times already this year, and he is a horse on the mound. He's throwing, he's got to be flirting with 90 miles an hour with his fastball, but he's also a very good pitcher, not just a guy who gets up and heaves the ball. He can mix it up, he can spot his pitches, and he is very effective on the hill. He's going to be tough throughout the NBL season. And Colgan's got a good yak at that one.
Well, that's what we're working with the pitching coach like Casey Cunningham's going to help. I mean, Casey was a hard throw, but he also had a devastating curveball. And Casey knows the advantage of, throwing off-speed pitches as well.
And Colgan so far has been used 10 innings for Montgomery. He has 18 strikeouts. He's only given up 5 hits and only 1 walk and not an earned run against him. Takes that one. A tough one to lay off as the breaking ball ends up outside to make the count 1-2 to Colgan.
Good eye, like you said.
Mitchell at second, Kevin Wade at first for the Montgomery Vikings.
Doesn't look like the left fielder's that deep, so if Colgan can get a hold of one, it might get over his head and score a couple runs.
Fastball, Colgan got under it. Andrew Ham coming in, started back. Now he has a beat on it and makes the catch. He covers a lot of room out there in center field. Two-way now for Drew Moog.
Well, we see Ham make a couple great plays. That was an easy one, and that was some good pitching there by Tobin. He kept Colgan a little bit off balance, and both Tiedemann and Colgan just missed their pitches that both those guys would love to have back.
High fastball misses, and Tobin supposedly in the mid-80s, but he's bringing it pretty good at times.
Yeah, he is. He's just
a little rise to that fastball.
Well, sometimes he's just not finishing his pitch. He's finishing standing straight up, and his pitches are staying up. That's when he's throwing that ball right up around their head.
This is a pretty tough mound if you're not used to it. It's very high, very steep. There's not a lot of flat room on top, so it's something that will give Montgomery an advantage throughout the year because their pitchers will have worked off it quite a bit. Talked to Casey Cunningham about this mound. I said, man, you guys really made this thing tall. And he goes, what do you think? I'm a pitching coach. I wanted it to be 24 inches high if I could get away with it. But we actually lowered it a little bit because we realized it was a little bit too high.
Well, again, it's the first year, and they're going to be experimenting with it, I'm sure, over the years. And it certainly will wear down. That's one thing that will happen. The dirt will slowly disappear after being raked all day.
Hard shot. What a stop at third by Davis, and he steps on the bag. Washington.
They can play some defense.
Oh, yeah, they're showing it here at Montgomery.
That's what that for those 14 games will help them with. They played 14 games. Their defense is on the mark.
A great ball game here in this Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Today's game of the week is brought to you by Cresco Equipment Rentals. Large or small, Cresco has it all. Whether you're into ranching, home improvement, or some heavy-duty construction, Cresco has everything you need to get the job done right. They have the scissors lifts, the boom lifts, the knuckle lifts, generators, water trucks, excavators, everything you might need. So when you need a lift, call Cresco Equipment Rentals. Definitely helping us today with the electric knuckle boom lift. Look at that thing. It goes up and out,
so high.
Knuckles in about 8 different ways, and gives us the ability to get up above this big new backstop here at Montgomery High School.
That is just beautiful. That's a beautiful shot. We got a great shot of that catch that Ham made in center field because of that lift. So thank you to Lift. And again, congratulations to Montgomery putting on this Al Rabinovitz tournament again. 12 years named Al Rabinovitz. Tournament's been going on since 1968. And Mickey Rabinovitz, who coached here for 38 years, is very proud of it being named after his dad. And I'm sure Mickey thanks everybody here at Montgomery for keeping it going. And he's also a part of the crew.
Mark Rowland pops up the first pitch. Joe Steemack staying with him. You could see that ball drift back toward the infield. And Steemack played it beautifully. Went away on one pitch. And now Chris Davis will be the next hitter for Washington.
How about a third baseman, Chris Davis.
So that'll bring up Davis, who was hit by the pitch. Playing third base, made that nice play, nice stab. I thought that thing was going to get down into the corner, but he backhanded it and stepped on the bag.
Well, that's one thing you can do as a third baseman with runners on first and second. You can play a little deeper knowing you have that force play. And you mentioned that on that pop-up there that Steemack caught. The wind definitely is going to be could be a factor today on a pop fly in the outfield. You know, a tweener. It's going to play some games with the outfielders out there.
Get out 15, get out 15.
2 balls and a strike to Chris Davis. As the Huskies try to get the go-ahead run aboard here in the middle innings of this Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game. Other teams involved in the tournament this year: Annalee, Santa Rosa, Sonoma. Windsor was scheduled to be here. But they had too many players that could not be here at the end of the week, and their head coach Barney Kaufman elected not to be here. Curveball ripped into left field. That's a base hit. Davis has one. He's going to try to stretch it as it's misplayed by Luke Robertson, and now he's going to have a triple.
It's going to be. Well, you're going to have to rule that a single in error by the left fielder Robertson. He definitely should have been able to come up with it.
And that's where the inexperience in the outfield today for Montgomery will hurt them. I mentioned a couple of guys that are visiting colleges that would normally be out in the outfield today, and it hurts them right there. The first error of the ball game. And Davis makes it all the way to third base.
Davis jumps all over a hanging breaking ball, and he's playing down the line. You see the ball goes right under his mitt, and Davis just keeps digging, and he'll get all the way third. It's 330 down that line.
And the Vikings started a little thin in the outfield with Daniel Mathis still nursing an injury. Didn't play basketball this year because of that injury, and is still out. He will be back eventually. Missed the whole second half of the basketball season for Tom Fitchie's basketball team.
So huge at bat in this game. We got a great game. It's 1-1, and right now it's Mitchell and Santaramo going at it.
Santaramo with a little foul ball.
So if you're Mitchell, you're definitely pitching for the strikeout here. You want to try to get him striking out. If you don't strike him out, you want to walk him. Try to keep that runner at third, because as well as Montgomery's been hitting, Washington's playing the great defense.
Santaramo with a little grounder to first. That'll get the run home. The Steemack steps on the bag. Didn't take much. A little grounder to the right side for the left-handed batter Santaramo, and Washington takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, it wasn't a sharply hit ball, so the only place Steemack was going to have is at first. So there's no way, even if I don't even think if he was playing in, he would have got Davis at home, because it was so slowly hit. Look at a little chopper hit the dirt, a couple bounces. Steemack takes it, and that's out number 2. But Washington takes the lead 2-1.
Jacob Cherez now at the plate.
And that error comes back to haunt Montgomery.
Jacob Cherez.
Game one or two.
Wow. That pitch looked like it was low and in.
That's the first unearned run that Montgomery's given up this year.
Gonna go back inside.
Little breaking ball, but that one misses, and it's 1-1.
That might have been a makeup call. That first pitch didn't look like a strike, and that one did, but anyway, it's 1-1.
Mitchell with a nice fastball, tipped at the plate. It's 1-2.
Well, Cherez doesn't get cheated with his cuts, does he? This kid goes up there hacking.
Another fastball pounded into the dirt.
And that was
the
well.
count remains 1-2.
You see Mitchell's philosophy on this kid. He's going inside. He's just trying to bust him inside because he is such a free swinger. Wants to make sure if he does hit it, he hits something off the handle.
Popped up behind the plate. Drew Moog having a retreat, and he won't get it. Tough enough with the backspin on the ball, but add to that a little bit of wind blowing today, and Moog just didn't find it in time.
He didn't find it in time, but, you know, the play, you ask the kid or anybody on the coaching staff, Montgomery, you should have made that play. Take a look at his pop-up. He looks like he's got time to find it. He just overreacted. He thought the ball was popped up back further, and it wasn't.
So Shiraz, the fastest player on this Washington Husky team at the plate. And that one misses high. 2-2.
So a lot of twos up right now on the board.
To center field, Kevin Wade. And the side is retired. But the Washington Huskies, after a single and an error, get the ground out RBI from Nick Santaramo. And after 3 full innings in the Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game, it is the Washington Huskies 2 and the Montgomery Vikings 0. We'll be back with the top of the 4th. The Vikings trying to come back here at home. When you're ready to see across to Rincon Valley. Wow. Beautiful shot of the cross up on the hill, across Rincon Valley, and all the way back into the stadium here at Montgomery High School, from Rincon Valley to Bennett Valley. And Joe Stimac at the plate for the Vikings in a 2-1 ball game. Vikings hoping to get Stimac aboard here and try to create something. Vikings have scored a lot of runs this year, but so far the defense has been awesome for Washington. The Vikings have scored 38 runs in 4 games coming into today's game.
Stimac hit a scorcher his last time up. It says fly out, but it was more like a liner to deep center field. So he's seen the ball well today. He's seen Tobin once.
And Tobin got off to kind of a rough start after getting Mitchell out in the first. Wade tripled, Tiedemann singled, he hit Colgan, but then his defense came up big. A couple of flyouts, and there is Stimac with a Bayhee to left field and a high fastball. Don't leave it up for the big fella. And now Joe Reynolds will step in for the Vikings.
So now Coach Dean Haskins has a decision to make. Down by 1, does he go ahead and try to bunt Stimac over, or does he go ahead and let him swing away, looking for a big inning?
At the plate, the designated hitter, Joe Reynolds.
Joe Reynolds, the DH today, usually the backup catcher, has not been involved in a lot of play this year so far. Only had 3 at-bats coming into today's game.
I'll tell you right now, if Montgomery wants to, Washington's just begging him to bunt the ball on the third baseline. Third baseman is playing back, and he's not really charging hard.
Yeah, Davis is playing well back. And he takes a strike.
Break hard over there, Jeff, and you see him.
Sometimes third basemen, they'll try to play mind games with the other manager. They'll move way back, and then they'll come running in, or they'll stay in and then not charge. But Davis, he's just staying in his position, just doesn't really care right now. He's just going to play defense. And
Reynolds swings away, a little pop down the right field line, and Roland made this very close. There's a lot of room in foul territory here in this ballpark, and Roland almost got to that next to the fence down the first baseline.
And maybe a little bit more foul territory than Doyle Park. Not much more, but again, for a high school field, this definitely has a lot of foul territory. And that's why you never give up on a play. You keep going after it. He almost came up with it. Now 2 strikes on the batter. Now he's just got to put the ball in play.
Breaking ball, pounded to third. Davis has it, throws to second for 1. Mazzetta turns it. A double play for the Washington Huskies.
Our group defense is just impressive. Davis to Mazzetta on to Roland, and Mazzetta made a nice turn at second. You talked about him. We talked about what a good defensive player he was. And this is a chopper. It wasn't hit that hard, but it came up, nice bounce right to Davis up high, a nice feed. And Mazzetti, you see.
Yeah, he got rid of that quickly.
Yeah, he got rid of it quick, and it was a good stretch by rolling all the way around, and they did get him by half a step. Definitely out at first. It was close play, but he was out. So that just kills a, that's what they call a rally killer right there, double play ball. Now Luke Robertson up. And now all of a sudden Tobin's not finding the strike zone. 3-0 on the count.
Battle back, 1-1, battle back.
And there's a walk on 4 pitches to Luke Robertson. Brad Routh will step in now.
So Coach Haskins looking to the bottom of the order now to try to get something going. 2 outs.
Brad Routh.
That one misses away. So all of a sudden, Tobin having some control issues.
That was a close pitch, but he missed outside. Needs to just throw the ball over the plate. You got the number 9 hitter up. You don't want to walk this guy and have the top of the order turn over for Montgomery with some really good hitters.
Top of the order, waiting in the wings here with 2 outs for Montgomery, and it's 2-0 now to Ralph. And that one didn't miss by much.
Didn't miss by much at all. And Tobin a little mystified how that wasn't called a strike, but 2-0 the count.
And there's a strike. Tobin just feeding one right down the middle of the plate, 2-0.
And you got to do that again right now. I mean, unless Robertson hits one out of the yard, you know, make him hit the ball.
And he fouls that one back. 2-2 now to Ralph. And that one might have been ball 3. It was a little bit up and in, and Ralph chased it.
Agreed. And Washington's playing behind Robertson.
Runner goes. Pitch in the dirt. And it's a stolen base for the Vikings. Robertson. His first steal of the year.
Take a look at actually a nice stop there by the catcher. But they weren't even holding the runner on. So an easy steal for Robertson.
So the tying run in scoring position now as Ralph swings down the right field line. A foul ball.
And that's where that stolen base can really help out Montgomery. Don't really understand why Washington was conceding it.
So good battle here. Tobin and Ralph. The tying run at second in the top of the 4th inning. Tobin from the stretch set near the letters, lifts and deals, and it's ball 4. Second walk in a row. Now the problem for Coach Noss is the fact that one of his backup pitchers, Nick Santaramo, is playing shortstop right now, so he can't really get him loose into the bullpen. And Scott Mitchell will step up.
Mitchell singled last time up, and his 3rd time at the plate, so 3rd time seeing Tobin. He should have a beat on him.
Mitchell came into the game hitting .455 for the Vikings with only 1 strikeout. So this is a guy who gets the bat on the ball. And if he can single right here, this game will be tied.
No one wants to hit more than him being the starting pitcher.
Two and 0. Mitchell grounded out in the 1st, singled in the 3rd. And here comes Coach Noss to have a chat with his starting pitcher. Again, the head coach, Rob Babadah, is out of town in Michigan, so not here to bring this team together. And originally, Washington had decided not to come to the tournament, but they called back later in the week and said, oh, what the heck, we got enough players. And our backup coach, Steve Noss, has been working with Rob Babadah for over 10 years here at Washington High School, so why not come up and play the tournament and see what happens. And they've done well. They're in the championship, and they lead 2-1 here in the 4th.
Yeah, and Tobin right now just needs to settle down. Some of the pitches he's missing by a lot. Some of them are just missing. But behind 2-0 now, he's going to have to groove one to Mitchell.
2 on, 2 outs. Mitchell got under it. Going out, Logan Mazzetta.
Not gonna be an
He's
easy
having
play.
trouble, and the shortstop, Nick Santaramo, ends up making the play. Yet another great defensive play for the Washington Huskies. A hit and no runs for the Vikings. A double play and a great catch by the shortstop, Santaramo. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning, halfway through with this one in the Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship. It's Washington 2, Montgomery 1. Kids enjoying the ball game here today. Easter week, Easter vacation week, and kids have been going to the baseball camps around town and coming out to watch a little high school baseball today. Great to see some action in the Washington bullpen now. Nick Santaramo is indeed throwing. I mentioned that they couldn't get him loose in the middle of the inning because he was out at shortstop, but as soon as they came in, he handed him a ball and got him into the bullpen immediately.
Well, Tobin with the 2 walks definitely struggled a little bit. Actually lucky to get out of the jam. The double play got him out of a jam, then he got 2 walks. So
Jeff Rivet, fly ball, right field. Tough one coming in. Ralph can't get it. It's a base hit. Rivet leads off the bottom of the 4th for Washington with a single. Blaine Carlisle is next for the Huskies.
you see a little drive over the second baseman's head. Thought it was going to get out a little bit further. See Bradford tries to make the play, but unable to come up with it.
Carlisle.
So now if you're Washington, you can bunt here if you want, or you can just go ahead, you're up.
And that's a play that Bradford might make if he hadn't been having the back trouble. Creeping in at third base is John Colgan.
Carlisle showing no signs of bunting here. I think you got a freshman at bat. Runner on first, 1-run lead. No outs. Might want to bunt him over, but no signs yet.
Bluff steal, and that one misses outside. 2-0. Excuse me, 3-0 here to Carlisle.
A big pitch coming up for Mitchell, and Montgomery needs to make this kid put the ball in play. Can't give him a free pass.
Carlisle walked and scored, bounces this one to first. Steemack has it. He's going to try to get the lead runner, and he does not. He had a little trouble getting to his feet and still tried to force the throw in, and everybody's safe.
Steemack a little slow coming up with the ball and getting his throw off. Tiedemann thought he was out, but may get a better look at it on the replay, but I thought the runner might be safe. You see, here's Carlisle with the hit. Steemack comes up, and actually it looks like it might be a good call. Looks like he got his leg in there before the ball got there. At least it did right there on that replay here. We'll take another look at it. Here's Steemack throwing. You really can't tell from that one, but the other angle was a little bit better.
So Lambert at the plate now, showing bunt for Washington. Second error of the day for the Montgomery defense. It's a big one.
Here's that replay. Here's the play at second, and that's a bang-bang play. It could have gone either way.
Lambert fighting off that pitch, and he cannot get the bunt down. Steemack with charging hard from first base. It's 0-2. Lambert grounded out in the second inning. Scott Mitchell on the hill, first start of the year for Montgomery, and he's pitched well. His defense has hurt him a little bit today. Uncharacteristic of this Montgomery team, and he had the runner picked off, but Tiedemann was going back into position. Perhaps a called play either from the dugout or by Mitchell, but Tiedemann obviously missed the sign.
Well, Tiedemann's flashing signs to Mitchell. Looks like he might be calling some of them, but Mitchell just saw that the runner was off and just spun and was hoping he could get him sleeping.
Tries the wheel move again. He ends up throwing that.
And he doesn't
have to.
Yeah, doesn't need to.
Count remaining 0-2 here to Colin Lambert. They call him the professor on this team. He has a 4.0 GPA. And this pitch gets all the way to the backstop, so you no need to bunt now. And he had him down 0-2. High pitch, and Moog couldn't get up for it. Runners now at second and third with no outs.
Yeah, that's one thing is sometimes the catcher will do when he's expecting a bunt. When the runner squares around like that, the catcher also will get anxious and try to catch the ball or try to get out there and field it. And Moog unable to come up with that one. High fastball.
Vikings bring the corners up halfway for the middle infielders. And that one's fouled back. Crucial situation in this ball game.
There's the pass ball. Went off Moog's glove. He'll tell you he should have caught it. Montgomery's infield is in.
Tries to pick off at third.
Yeah, ground ball, you don't gotta go, huh?
Yeah, now they have brought everybody up on the grass.
Well, Montgomery, I think it's a smart play. Montgomery, they know this game's going to be tight with what Washington has in the bullpen.
Breaking ball, little twister, and Steemack is just going to take the out at first. The ball's hit off the end of the bat, had tons of spin on it. Steemack just kind of mousetrapped it and stepped on the base at first, and Washington scores a run.
I think you're right there. I think the run would have scored even if Steemack came up with it. It was hit so slow and had a ton of spin on it. And Steemack just did good, just knocked it down and then got the out at first. So Washington now is up 3-1 over the Vikings. Take a look at it. Little squibber, that's all it is. Steemack knocks it down, picks it up, and his only play is at first.
Washington has executed situational hitting very well today. Second time today, they've just had a little ground out that brings in a run.
Yeah, you look at the line score, Washington with only 2 hits on the day, but they're up, excuse me, they have 3 hits on the day. And 3 hits and 3 runs, but they made the most of them.
Hard hit ball right at the second baseman. Bradford, he throws to first. Colgan can't find the bag.
Great play by Bradford, and Colgan was looking for the bag.
So Colgan was trying to scramble to get over there. Bradford threw it quickly, but Colgan just had to kind of stomp around and hope he could find the bag as he had to concentrate.
Great look at it. There's Bradford. Then there's Colgan. Look for the bag. He misses the bag, and then he misses it again.
Boy, he almost got it with the sweep of his foot.
The base runner did a great job getting back. Blaine Carlisle, he froze on the line, didn't freeze on the line drive like he should have.
It's Mazzetta who hammers this ball to Bradford at second. Or excuse me, Andrew Ham. Mazzetta is now at the plate for Washington.
And Bradford, what impressed me there is Bradford got rid of that ball really quickly and got it over to Colgan. Maybe almost a little too quick.
2-0 here to Logan Mazzetta.
But anyway, if Montgomery limited damage to 1 run, that'll be huge.
Nice stop by Moog. 3-0 here to Mazzetta. Guy, you may just want to pitch around in this situation, take your chances with the 3-hitter rolling, but Mazzetta hitting .485 coming into today. Obviously a very dangerous hitter for the Washington Huskies. Bouncer to short. Tiedemann in the hole. Got him at first. The side is retired, but the Washington Huskies come up with a run on just 1 hit. A Montgomery error, a very big one. And we've finished 4 innings here in the Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game. The Montgomery Vikings down 3-1. We'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up as we head to the 5th. So we're heading to the top of the 5th inning. And we have a new pitcher for the Washington Huskies. It is Nick Santaramo, their #1 guy, the ace of their staff. And they're going to him right now. No messing around. Logan Mazzetta moves over to shortstop. And it looks like Jacob Sherez may be now playing second base for Washington. So the question is, who's in left field right now? Now it looks like Sherez is still out there. We'll try and figure out who's on first, what's on second.
Now pitching for Washington, number 16, Nick Santaramo.
Kevin Wade will step up now for Montgomery, number 2 hitter. So we see
the
the top pitcher now for
the Vikings.
The Washington Huskies.
Kevin Wade.
So big inning here for the Vikings, needing to get something going.
Go way out. Come on now.
And Wade gets ahead on the count, 2-0. You can see Santaramo has pretty good speed on the fastball. Low roller could be a tough play. Mazzetta can't handle it, boots it. First error of the day for the Washington Huskies, and the Vikings have the leadoff man aboard.
Just put it in the right spot, but don't worry about it.
Santaramo has a .86 ERA. That is dealing.
Wow.
He's 4-1 on the year.
Yeah, and he's thrown some innings, so 31 innings.
Plate,
Excuse me, 32 innings. So
Yeah, by far the most on the staff, by double. Ham has thrown 15 2/3. Santaramo 32 1/3. He's got 35 strikeouts on the year. Tiedemann at the plate. That was a ball.
I'm out, Tita. Here we go, babe.
Santaramo misses up and away, 2-0 to Tiedemann. Tiedemann singled in the first, popped up in the third, had an RBI base hit back in the first game. The lone run of the day so far for the Vikings. And Santaramo hits the outside corner to make it 2-1.
you go back to that first inning when Ham made the great play in center field. Vikings had, I think, runner on first and second with 2 outs, and Ham made a great play to end the inning.
Steve Noss's original plan was to try to save Santaramo if possible, and obviously he's pitched a lot for this team this year, 32 1/3 innings, and try to get him well rested for the Logan game next week. But he wants to win this ball game today. He'd love to take the big trophy home and show his buddy, the head coach Rabinovitz, that he could get it done without the big guy.
Well, Santaramo, after missing with the first 2 pitches, come back and hit the outside corner on 2 pitches. And Tiedemann just needs to take that ball and stroke it to right field if he sees that one again.
Popped up by Tiedemann, and that's going to get out of play. Count remains 2-2.
So you got a nice battle going on. You got one of Montgomery's best hitters going up against Washington's best pitcher. And Tiedemann's actually 1 for 2 today. He's singled and also popped out to right field.
Nice lead at first for Wade. He's going, taking the curveball. High throw, gets into center field. Wade's gonna hold up right there. His hand backs it up, but it's a stolen base for Kevin Wade, and the Vikings have a runner in scoring position. Rolling the dice a little bit, but I think they had a pretty good idea that a breaking ball was coming that time. And Zach Wade with his first stolen base of the season.
Yeah, Kevin Wade really got down there well, and Tiedemann did good to lay off that pitch.
Full count to Tiedemann. Fastball, bounce to the right side. Nice stop by Rowland. Tiedemann hustling in the bag. And they got him at first.
Well, I'm not so sure he got him. A great stop there by Mark Rowland, the first baseman. He dove. Santaramo didn't get over there to cover, and he had to take it right away, take it right to the bag himself, and he dove, and Rowland hit the bag with his mitt right as Tiedemann was coming to the bag, and a lot of people thought Tiedemann was safe.
Jamie Woods showed a little bit of displeasure, the first base coach, but Dean Haskins remains in the dugout, not coming out to argue the call. And now John Colgan will be the batter for Montgomery.
See if we can take a look at that. play in a minute. That's a huge play in this ball game.
Breaking ball to Colgan, misses up high. So another big defensive play for Washington. A little controversial.
Big zone. Come on, Nick. Use the big zone.
2-0 the count here to Colgan. And there's a strike, 2-1.
So Colgan needs to go up here and he needs to try to drive him in. Take the big stroke. Let her rip. And that's the pitch he wants right there. If he sees that one again, he's going to take a big cut at it.
2-2 to Colgan. Wade is at third. 1 out, 3-1 lead for the Washington Huskies. And that one just misses. Tough one to lay off. 3-2.
Put in a perfect spot there.
Colgan with a bouncer too short. This will get the run home. Mazzetta's throw across in time. Wade comes to the plate.
So that's only 2 outs. And Wade will score. But Montgomery was hoping for a big inning. And now we'll have to start over with 2 outs. But they do cut the lead from 3-1 to 3-2.
Drew Moog at the plate. The Vikings have chipped away at the lead. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Here in the 5th. Good game. 2 real good teams, and both have playoff aspirations, I am sure, although may not see each other beyond this game here today. But it'll be interesting to follow Washington during the year, having seen them here today and seeing, in particular, their defense. They're a good team.
Yeah, then you look at this guy Santaramo, and this guy can deal. Look at it. He's just getting warmed up. You see his first couple batters, he missed with a few pitches, but now he looks like he's settling in. You talked about the mound, needing to get settled into that, and he is just dealing.
Nice breaking ball. Freezes Maug at the plate. And that's a strikeout. Side retired, but Kevin Wade comes around to score after the error and ground out. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Good tight ball game here in the Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship. 3-2 Washington over Montgomery.
This is what we've seen so far today with Washington leading 3-2. There's a Tiedemann got Montgomery going with the RBI in the first inning. Montgomery's up 1-0.
Then it was Washington playing some great defense, holding Montgomery in check, starting with this one right here.
Yeah, here's Stimac driving the ball, threatening to get a couple runs home, but Ham with a nice play. And then later on, the next inning, second inning, the center fielder Ham makes this play to end the inning. Look at that, all stretched out. And that really has been the difference in the game. And then here is the triple by Washington. And this gets 2 runs home. That's Ham getting 2 runs home. Excuse me, 1 run home. And then you see here's Mitchell with the strike right there.
So a good ball game so far. Mark Rowland at the plate for Washington.
Go, Marco. Come on now.
He seems displeased. I'm not sure if it was the call or he felt like he was being rushed by Mitchell.
Mitchell doesn't mess around on the mound. He gets the ball and he deals.
And that one's fouled off.
Head in there. That was a good rip. You're right on that, 20. You're ready now.
0-2 pitch, a little bit low. Nice waist pitch there by Mitchell. Vikings have Ian Thompson available to pitch as well as Drew Moog, but they'd like to get another at least inning out of their starter Mitchells. This one's hit high in the air to left field, fairly deep. And Kevin Wade has it for the first out. Chris Davis is next.
At the plate,
So Davis, who's played well at third base, he's also singled today, but he got to third on a big error by the left fielder from Montgomery. So he last time up, he hit a ball down the line, should have been a routine single, but then a misplay by the left fielder, and he scooted all the way around to third and scored after that.
Davis has been hit by the pitch and singled today. He takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Good job by Mitchell mixing up his pitches there. Really took a lot off that one.
It's a big inning defensively for Montgomery. They scored a run last inning to chip away at the lead. If they can set them down here and get back in the dugout, they'll have a little momentum. Looking ahead to the Vikings' 6th, Steemack, Reynolds, and Robertson are due up to face Nick Santaramo. Again, the ace of the Washington staff on in relief here for the Huskies. Scott Mitchell has gone the distance so far for Montgomery, and he misses outside with the breaker. It's got a knuckle curve. I don't know, it's kind of hard to identify from our angle whether or not it's a straight curve or the knuckle curve ball, but that's a wicked pitch.
Yeah, Coach Hassan says he uses it more as a changeup. See, that looks like a true curve ball right there.
That loops into center field, a base hit. And I'm not sure, but Mitchell kind of looked over the dugout as if to say he didn't want to throw that pitch. And it ends up being a little bloop base hit into right field.
now batting the pitcher, Nick Santaramo.
This brings up the big stick of Santaramo.
Santaramo beating that one toward the first base dugout here at Montgomery.
Santaramo again with 2 triples on the year and 2 doubles. Coming into this week, batting .303.
Nice lead at first for Davis. Mitchell with the breaking ball, hit well to left field. Robertson going back, still chasing it. It's over his head. Late break for Davis. He's being waved to the plate. Tiedemann with the gun throws it just high. Might have had him with a perfect throw. But Steve Noss makes a good decision to send him. It's a double for Santaramo and an RBI. 4-2 now, Washington.
So his 3rd double of the year is a big one here for Santaramo. He gives himself a 4-2 lead. And that curveball just stayed up there a little bit too long. See, it's just a little bit of a hanging curveball. Santaramo has time to adjust to it. And he drives that one all the way to the wall. And a close play here at the plate. Tiedemann on the relay. Good relay throw by the outfielder. Tiedemann throws just high. And it would have been a bang-bang play. We got a little bit of a delay here in the game. We have a half streaker here at Montgomery.
So now it'll be Jacob Shirez. Yeah, I got somebody who decided to show his BVDs here today. BVDs and a bag on the head. He's got to run all the way home, though. That's going to get chilly on the way home.
I think he's got a parked car on a freight cat waiting for him.
Didn't think it that far ahead, I'm sure.
Well, if he doesn't, there's 2 Montgomery coaches heading down there to get him, so he better have a ride. Because both the coaches, their off-duty job are police officers.
Steve Noss having a word with Jacob Shirez. Runner at second. 1 out. Fastball pounded into the dirt. 1-2 the count. Mitchell set near the letters, lifts and deals. Low grounder. Colgan has it at third and rifles it across in time. Cherez runs well, but he hit it hard right to the third baseman Colgan for the second out. Moving up on the play, Nick Santaramo.
Yeah, Colgan had plenty of time there, took his time, got a good strong throw over Steemack for the second out. And right here, huge play, huge at bat right now in this game. See, this is Santaramo's double earlier that got the fourth run on home for Washington. Montgomery definitely does not want to give up another run here with only 2 more at bats left in this game.
Jeff Rivet at the plate. Breaking ball, that's a strike.
We've actually seen a very well played game overall for both teams. Montgomery committed a couple errors, but both pitchers, the sets of pitchers have pitched very well. The defense has been pretty stellar, and the batters have put the ball in play. Not a lot of strikeouts today.
Swing and a miss. Good fastball there by Mitchell. Still bringing it here today.
He's showing his arm is strong.
He's been waiting a long time to get a start this year. Well over a month into the season, and finally making his first start for the Vikings.
Nice play by Moog to keep that ball from going to the backstop. Ooh.
And he hits him. Got away from him just a bit.
And that might have been that knuckle curve because he didn't have much control on it.
And Blaine Carli, the designated hitter, is up next.
And that really hurts because you had 2 strikes on him. You see there's just, this ball doesn't break. I think it was the knuckle curve the way it came off his hand. It definitely, ball was supposed to break a lot. It wasn't thrown very fast, and that's unfortunate for Montgomery in that situation.
And that is the danger of that pitch. You can lose it once in a while. First and third. We'll see if they try to run on Maug here with 2 outs. And there's a backdoor breaking pitch that finds the corner. Carlisle gets ahead on the count, 0-1.
You won't see a lot of coaches doing it, but here if you have the runner try to steal and you get him in a pickle and you got a smart runner at third, he might be able to get home before that runner at first gets tagged out in the pickle.
Rivet is a very good athlete, doesn't go. The grounder to second. Bradford makes the play. But Washington adds to their lead. They get a couple of hits, they get a run, and we're going to the top of the 6th inning here. Vikings down to their last 6 out, and they trail in this Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game 4-2 to Washington of Fremont. A 4-2 ball game as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Joe Steemack, who has 1 for 2 with a single, will step in to face Nick Santaramo. It is Justin Rigg now playing second base for the Washington Huskies. We finally figured that one out for you. At least as best as our eyesight can tell. Trying to read the number from here. I'm getting a little older, Pat. You know, my eyesight's not what it once was.
We'll see the doc. Go see Doc Ashley. He'll take care of you.
And there's a breaking ball. That's a strike.
Well, big inning for Montgomery here. They don't want to go into the 7th down by 2 runs, but they're facing the ace for Washington.
Fisted, and that's going to be a fair ball. Davis throwing across, and Steemack is thrown out 5-3.
Nice pick at first over there by Mark Rowland.
And Washington's defense has been amazing all day today.
See, it's a slow roller to third. Davis comes up with it, and you see he'll short hop the first baseman, but a nice pick, and he comes up and he shows the umpire the ball, no hesitation.
Joe Reynolds now at the plate, and the Vikings need some base runners here, trailing by a couple of runs. Santaramo will have to face the top of the order at some point. He has got some wicked stuff.
That's his 2nd slider in a row, and he is just working it. I mean, those last 2 pitches are practically unhittable.
Reynolds fights it off and drills it into left field. A solid base hit. Santaramo made a location mistake, left it up a little bit and in, and Reynolds jumped on it.
Well, just as I said that slider's unhittable, Reynolds says, not for me, baby. And third time in a row he saw this pitch, and this time he just strokes it. You say he didn't see, he did leave it up a little bit.
And that'll be Luke Robertson. He pitched against Santa Rosa yesterday and got the win, a 4-3 win over the Santa Rosa Panthers in the semifinals of this tournament. Robertson's 0 for 1 so far. Hits this one to the right side. Another great play by Rowland. Rowland gets one at first. The throw back, not in time. Zeta trying to turn the 3-6-1 double play, and Washington thought they did have him at first base.
And you know what? If they may have had him, but that may be a little bit of a makeup call from last inning when first base coach Jamie Woods thought Zach Tiedemann was safe. But Rowland with the great play at first. I mean, this is just a well-executed double play attempt. Look at, there's one, and that's bang, bang play.
So Brad Routh.
And Montgomery stays alive here in this 6th inning. And we'll go ahead and take another look at that double play attempt here for Washington. There's one for sure, and then we'll see whether Santarone was on the bag. I think that may be a question. And it looked like he would have been. It sure looks like Santarone was on the bag.
His foot was behind the bag. The question is whether or not he was touching the bag with his knee or his shin, perhaps.
Yeah, the ball.
He thought so.
The ball definitely beat the runner. It's a question whether Santarone's leg or shin were sitting on the bag as well.
Routh goes to right field, and that is going to fall. A base hit. Good jump for Reynolds. He's going to try to stretch it. The throw, not in time. Vikings at the corners. Excuse me, that was Robertson running hard with 2 outs, and he makes it all the way to third. And the Vikings have runners at the corners, and leadoff man Scott Mitchell coming up.
Aggressive base running, but I like it. And I like it because now that's a big run out there at third base. If they can cut this 1-1, Reynolds is running hard here the whole way. It's a short, it's a short single, and the play at third actually could have been pretty darn close if the throw was right on line.
Jeff Rivet with the throw across from right field, and now it'll be Scott Mitchell.
But now that runner at third can score on a pass ball, he can score on an error, and Montgomery needs runs.
And the question is, are the Vikings going to try to steal second base here with Routh running at first base? And Routh does have a stolen base. He's only played in a couple of ball games this year, but he does run well. And that one misses up, 2-0.
Santarama going to gather himself out there on the mound. Mitchell can just turn this game around if he decides to get a hold of one here right away. But what he's got to be thinking right now, just single. Let the guys up behind him finish it off.
Fastball, pounded foul. 2-1, a good hit and run or run and hit count right here. We'll see if Dean Haskins decides to start the runner from first. Kyle Boyd, the third base coach, flashing the signs. Dean Haskins actually showing them from the dugout. 2-1. Mitchell at the plate. Routh did get a little bit of an extra step, but doesn't go. And that one misses outside. 3-1 to Mitchell.
And that was a close pitch. Santarama definitely wanted it. And so now if you're Mitchell, 3-1, you're just looking something. Santarama has to come in. He shakes him off. It looks like he may come with a slider. We'll see.
Routh is going. Slider. It's a strike, and Routh has it stolen easily.
You saw Santarama shook it off. He missed with the fastball, and he knew that Mitchell, 3-1, was going to be looking fastball. Credit Santarama. Great call there, shaking off the fastball call, and then he went with the slider. And now he's got a full count.
Tying run at second. 3-2 count. Mitchell waiting. Just gets a piece of the slider.
So now Santarama, he showed Mitchell his fastball. He's showing him his slider. What's he going to go with next?
Out of the windup, Santarama giving Routh a huge jump, and this one is hit hard to center field, but Ham is right there and makes the catch. Hit it perhaps a little too hard, and Andrew Ham, who hasn't missed anything today, wasn't about to miss that one. But the Vikings get a couple of hits and make things interesting here in the top of the 6th inning. They trail 4-2 as we go to the bottom half of the inning. Washington still on top here in the Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game.
Here's that double play ball. It wasn't called a double play. Kept this inning going from Montgomery. See there, the ball definitely beats the runner. And then Santaramo looks like he had from that angle, from every angle that our people in our truck have looked at, Santaramo definitely had his leg on the bag and should have been called double play. But
he might have actually cost himself the call by dragging his foot as if to say, I'm not on the bag, and he dragged his foot forward rather than just drop his knee straight down and kneel on the bag. I think he might have got the call.
So that was one of the plays that helped Montgomery keep that inning alive, and then Montgomery threatened, but Santaramo just got Mitchell there at the end with the fly out to center. Actually, a line out to center. Mitchell hit the ball hard.
37 for 14. 37 for 14. You got ours, 17 for 5.
Daniel Freitas will pinch hit now. Hitting in the 9th spot.
Daniel Freitas.
And there is some action now in the Montgomery bullpen. Ian Thompson throwing for Montgomery as Mitchell winds and deals, and a good yak there for Freitas. Another fastball. Steemack at first. Took a weird hop on him, but he manages to stay down on it, one away. So then we'll swing it around to the top of the order, and Andrew Ham, who has been quite a player today as we see the Montgomery bullpen. Thompson getting in some warm-ups down there. Ham has tripled, driven in a run, made several nice defensive plays today for the Washington Huskies. And you can see why Steve Noss calls him the catalyst of this team with his defense and at the top of the order. There's a strike. These teams, you know, you look at the matchup today, and boy, wouldn't you love to see a day when both these guys had their aces going the distance. Colgan pitching against Santaramo, and you can imagine it'd be a very low-scoring, very tough game, but a good one nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4-2 right here.
Here's one of Ham's great catches, laying out, making a terrific catch.
Like you say, I mean, with both aces going, it'd probably be a 1-0, 2-1 game, if that.
2-2 the count to Ham. Fastball down, and he manages to hold up. They check, and they say he did go, so that's strike 3. Checking with Sean Beaton, the third base umpire, and he says, yeah, he went. Third strikeout of the day for Mitchell. 2 outs here in the 6th, and Logan Mazzetti will step in.
Take a look at it here, see if he goes.
And
you know, it looks like he checked his swing there. I don't see how you call that a strike. That's just one thing that's one of my pet peeves is the next batter's hit, is that sometimes those umpires are a little bit too quick to go ahead and say the guy swung.
Yeah, very rarely do they give the benefit of the doubt to the hitter in that situation. Seems like it's been that way for a while. Mazzetta's hit, and now Mark Rowland will step in. The Vikings will send Kevin Wade, Zach Tiedemann, and John Colgan to the plate. And there's a strike. Mazzetta, who runs well, has a nice lead at first base, and that one misses low.
Mitchell now missing low. Needs to just throw that ball right over the plate here, maybe a little bit in the outside corner, try to get his team back in the dugout and see if the middle of the order can get something going.
All right, look for something here, buddy.
And there's a strike, full count.
And that's a spot you just need to keep throwing that ball right there. It's a pitch that's going to be tough for them to hit out of the park. And again, just let his defense do the work.
Hit well. Wade playing him to pull, will not get to this one. Ralph comes up with it. It's a long single, heading all the way to third. Logan Mazzetta. Nice solid base hit from Mark Rowland. Now Chris Davis has had a good day at the plate for the Washington Huskies. Will step in.
Take a look at it, and there's that pitch low and away. I said it was such a good pitch earlier, and then Rowland just slaps the ball to right center field.
And now Dean Haskins is going to come out, and we'll see if he decides to go to the bullpen or stick with Mitchell. Davis has a 2-for-2 day going. He scored a couple of runs for Washington. He's also been hit by the pitch, so he's been on base 3 times today.
Well, he's going to talk to Mitchell, see if he's going to ask him, what, do you have anything left? Do you want to go ahead and get this guy? And of course, Mitchell's going to say yes, but he's going to probably tell him this is your last batter. If you don't take care of business, I might have to bring someone else in.
His mind was not made up on the way out there, so Mitchell will have a chance to lobby and stay in. And I imagine he's saying, come on, coach, I've been waiting a month and a half to pitch. I'm fine. I'm well rested.
Well, and he's got plenty of time to rest here, this being Thursday.
Sometimes that's all you really need to hear from the pitcher, is that he still wants the ball, that he still is game. If you go out there and you get any kind of hesitation from him in terms of are you okay, then you're going to get him out of there. Davis takes a strike, 0-1.
And Mitchell comes right back, a knee-high fastball on the outside part of the plate. Good pitch.
Rolling at first, Mazzetta at third. Washington looking for insurance here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, they're the home team because of the bracketing. Off-speed pitch and a nice stop by Drew Moog.
So Washington, first and third situation if they want. Again, they can send that runner from first, and if Montgomery throws or end up getting him in a pickle, can try to send the runner from third, try to steal a run.
Runner goes. Pitch is hammered. Tiedemann deep in the hole will have to go across the diamond to first, and he got him. So the score remains 4-2. 6 innings of play in the books here at Montgomery High School. We'll turn the page and bring you the final chapter. The Vikings down to their last licks here in the Hour Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game. Beautiful shot of the hills beyond Rankin Valley here in Santa Rosa. We live in a very beautiful place. We've had a lot of rain, but when it finally clears away, we've got some definite beauty to look at around here. The mountains are going to be green for a while, I think, with all that rain we've had in the spring. We see a little lacrosse going on today on the football/soccer field here in Montgomery, and I understand the plan is to get lights in before next football season. They've done an environmental impact. It's all wired up and ready to go. So all steam ahead as long as there's no major opposition from the neighbors around here. And I think that would be a great thing.
It would definitely be an incredible thing for the whole Montgomery community, and actually the whole Santa Rosa community. See what it's done to Friday night games over at Santa Rosa High School, Pioneer High. Hopefully someday wants to get them too. So, but right now Montgomery's got a tall order, down 2.
Kevin Wade facing Nick Santaramo, the top pitcher for the Washington Huskies, on in relief. Long throw across Mazzetta. Got him.
Got him by a step. Mazzetta with a strong arm. Mazzetta moved from second base over there to shortstop. And he had to move to his right a little bit. And got to remember, this kid's only a sophomore and made a strong throw to get Wade by a full step. Take a look at it again. Fairly routine, but nothing's routine in the top of the 7th when your team's going for the championship of a tournament.
Very tough to do much else with that slider, but just kind of pound it into the dirt, and that's where Santaramo comes through big. Santaramo shaking off the first sign. And there's the breaking ball again. That is a wicked, hard slider for Santaramo.
And when you've seen Santaramo shake off the sign, he's usually shaking off the fastball going with this slider. Look at this, starts out and then just drops about a foot and with speed.
And he comes back with a high heat.
So if you're Tiedemann, you got to be watching for both those pitches down. Can't sit on one, just got to see the ball and adjust to it. You got to get on base. If he does get on base, he's got the big stick up behind him.
Turning on one, Tiedemann. That's going to end up way foul.
He hit that one deep.
Hey, we need someone on that ball.
Remember, he's hit 600 coming in on the day.
Yeah, and Dean Haskins was pretty amazed by Tiedemann after everything he went through in basketball season. Comes out first game of the year in baseball and goes 4 for 5 against Piner. And Tiedemann rips this one to left field, and that is going to get down. Cherez tried to dive for it, couldn't come up with it. Tiedemann has a stand-up double.
Well, Montgomery is alive and upsets John Colgan. And if he can get a hold of one here, he might just be able to tie it up. Thing he's going to need to do is not think home run and just stay focused and just try to hit the ball hard somewhere. And if it gets out, it gets out. If not, he gets Tiedemann home. Take a look at Tiedemann with 2 strikes on him. You know, it's just another testament. I mean, I know we talk about him all the time, and what a clutch player he is, not only in basketball, but here in baseball. His team's down 4-2, 1 out in the top of the 7th championship game, and Zach Tiedemann goes up. And is there any doubt that the kid's going to get on base? None in his mind, I'll tell you that.
John Colgan takes the slider for a strike.
Colgan did not like the call. He thought it was outside. So if I'm Santaramo, I'll go right back to that pitch, maybe even a little bit further outside, try to get Colgan fishing.
Colgan looking for his first extra base hit of the year. Another slider to Colgan. 0-2.
He's getting the call, and Coach Haskins doesn't like it. He's letting the umpire hear it. Colgan now, he's got to adjust now. He's got to shorten up and just try to go the other way and keep this inning alive.
Santaramo got him to hit it right back to the box, flip to first base in time. And that's a huge out. 2 away now. Drew Moog will step in.
3 straight breaking balls, 3 straight hard breaking balls, and just kept working it further and further outside to Colgan. And Santaramo, that's just smart pitching. Look at this pitch. You know, might have been a call to strike. Colgan had to swing at it. Santaramo, well, 1 out away from his Washington team taking the tournament.
He comes back with a slider again. Again, there's not a whole lot you can do with that pitch besides just pound it into the dirt.
And it's one of those pitches you need to see once before you hit it. You can't just go over there and say, I'm going to hit the slider. You need to time it. You need to get a good look at it.
Moog trying to go the opposite way with the slider. 0-2.
So Moog has seen 2 of them now.
Vikings down to their last strike. Tiedemann at second. 4-2, Washington of Fremont with the lead here in the Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game.
Santaramo shakes off the sign, so we'll see what he comes back with.
Inside, that's a ball.
And he just missed that pitch. The catcher was set up outside. The pitch came on the inside part of the plate, so the umpire didn't give him the call.
And he got him swinging. Drew Moog goes down. Santaramo with the heat, gets it by him, and Washington wins the 12th Al Rabinovitz Tournament Championship. This tournament has been going on for many years, since 1968. 12 years it's been the Rabinovitz Tournament, and there's been some great teams that have won it. You can add Washington to the list.
Well, it's nice that they came up, and they're sure glad they did now. It's certainly a good week of baseball for them. They go 3-0 up here in the tournament. Congratulations to Montgomery for getting to the championship game of their own tournament. Great new facility here, but Washington just a little bit too good defensively, and they got some timely hitting and took advantage of those 2 Montgomery errors to get the 4 runs.
And I got to tell you, for us, it's just great to be back. The game of the week, back in action after all the rain kept us off the fields for the last month. 4-2 is the final. We'll be back to give you a final word from the Rabinovitz Tournament in just a moment. Equipment Rentals play of the game. And we saw some great defense today from the Washington Huskies. So an easy pick right here. The batter for the Montgomery Vikings hitting it deep into right center field. Andrew Ham lays out for it. That was Brad Ralph hitting it, and Andrew Ham running it down and coming up with the diving catch deep in right center field. That one good enough for our Cresco Equipment Rentals play of the game. It was certainly the defense for the Washington Huskies that made the big difference today. They turned a great double play, made several nice defensive plays, and this one a 4-2 win in the Rabinovitz Tournament Championship game. And Tobin gets the win, Santaramo gets the save for the Washington Huskies. And we have our player of the game, Andrew Ham, the man that made that catch, also had the big triple to drive in a run today. Had to be a pretty fun tournament for you guys. It was unclear whether you were even going to come to the tournament. You end up coming up here and getting the win.
Yeah, our coach hasn't scheduled a lot of games this year, so when we got a tournament, we were excited to play, but our coach wasn't going to be here, so he was going to, get us out of the tournament, but our assistant coach took us over, and he took us here, so it was good.
And Coach Noss calls you really the catalyst of this team with your defense and at the plate. Tell us about how you were able to get the jump on those balls out in center field and come up with the catches like that.
Well, basically, I've just been playing outfield all my life. So, and even when I was a kid, I'd have my dad throw me fly balls because I just love, running, laying out. It's, one of the greatest things. So, just the more reps you get, the more it just becomes natural to you.
Good pitching today. Your starter, Tobin, a little shaky at start, but he settled down, and then have Santaramo backing him up. That had to be a nice combination for you guys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Whenever we got Santaramo on the hill, I'm always confident. And when Tobin's out there, we always know he's going to do a good job. So
here's your triple today. This was a great hit for you today.
Yeah. Basically, I've been struggling a lot this year, so when I keep my front shoulder and I drive the ball, it feels good, so.
Andrew, when you make those kind of plays on the outfield, do you feel more confident up at the plate, or is it something that does carry over to the plate? Some people say it does.
Definitely, it gets you fired up. Just gives you that little edge, more momentum. So it just you get that extra edge.
We've been talking about you playing defensively, but the whole team played well defensively today.
Yeah, definitely. Our first baseman Mark Roland making diving catches, turning double plays. It was just all good defense all around.
So it's a big tournament for you guys. You end up with the win. And what I really noticed about you as a team at the plate was situational hitting. You guys had runners at third, less than 2 outs a couple times a day, and guys didn't try to do too much with the ball, grounded the ball to the right side and got the run home.
Oh, yeah. Coach is always telling 2 strikes in. You got to, go with the pitch, get the other way, do the small things, bunting, getting guys over. That's how you win games.
All right, well, I know they're getting ready for an award ceremony right here, and they're waiting for you, so we'll cut you loose right here, Andrew. It's a pleasure watching. Good luck watching it during the season, and hope you guys have a big game with Logan next week. Hope you go get them.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, Andrew Ham, our player of the game for Washington. And the team from Fremont comes up here and comes away with the big trophy here today, a 4-2 win over the Montgomery Vikings. First loss of the year for Montgomery, and I imagine if you ask Dean Haskins, he'll say, I'd rather lose a game in a situation like this to a good team and get my team a little bit more focused and motivated coming back into the league schedule, because it's going to be rigorous here for the next month and a half.
Yeah, you never want to lose, but the Montgomery Vikings, they were battling right down there to the end. They had a chance in the 7th inning, but Santaramo was just too tough. And you got to just tip your cap to Washington. They played 3 great games here, and they walk away with the trophy. And congratulations to them.
All right, well, great game here today and a terrific tournament put on here by everyone at Montgomery High School. That will do it for our coverage today. And again, it was great to be back out on the field checking out a great baseball game. The final, this one's 4-2 for Pat McDonald, our director Brian Leach, and all of us here at Comcast. I'm Dave Cox saying goodbye, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, everybody.
No, we're good.